Alright, welcome back to Bear's Den for a little more Microtopia. And I might need to turn off the creation of the pod workers. We've kind of gone a little crazy here. We are up to 179 now. And I am just getting ready to put in a fourth one for giving them their pods. This one is going to be for the number 2s because we've got a small stockpile of them here and we have a very large stockpile of them back over here, so it's about time we start to use them. I have also done a bit of work getting... They've been cleaning this up really well. I got rid of all of them before, and I have them in priority that they take the glass first. Then they take the iron plates to get rid of it. Then the fabric. And then the regular concrete. And I may honestly just have them not take the plates and the concrete. You never know when we might need it over on this island. And we're still working on getting this big glass deposit done. They'll be here for a while. And this is the glass they're pulling from that. And then when we need iron and copper, we will have them work over there on that. I've also done a bit of work over here. I need to do a little more work. I changed these out to large for the iron and the copper. You'll see we have actually managed to mine up our first gold scrap. This thing is going to take forever to mine out. And I have it so that our iron working guys come in, our miners come in. There's a cast gate for if they're miners, they go that way. If they're the iron guys, they come up here and start grabbing from these dispensers, which is the resin one, the iron one, the copper one, and the glass one. We haven't put the gold one in because we haven't needed it yet. And just like on the other island, I may need this stuff. So I just have them sitting here. Same with those for right now. We're just back there. I don't need any more fabric over here or any more plant stuff over here. I've got plenty. One thing I did get set up over here that I need to set up on the other side is all of my guys that come down this line go into this recycler and grab whatever is sitting there and put it on the slinger that slings it over to the stockpile that it is associated with, which is iron, because this is where the digger guys come when they come through here. If they're old, they go that way, and same if they're iron workers, and both of those are iron related, so they go in there. Wait a minute, I set that up only for the diggers, but these guys should be all iron as well. Yep. So we're actually going to change that real quick. And let's just get this guy up here. That's going back for the pod workers. We do not want them going that way, so we're just going to delete that completely, and they're just going to go straight to there and get recycled. Okay, now that the end report is done, I also have my youngins, if they can't go into any of these 3 assemblers here, they walk around over here and pick up the iron that's laying around. It gets slung back over to here, which is getting rather full rather quickly, and then that is sent over here to our new smelting array, which you can see is quite large. This is our new plate making area, screw making area. I have glass smelting here. I have our bulbs being made here. This I just got set back up for fabric, and rubble still is not taken care of for concrete. And then any of our pod workers that don't have anywhere to go at the moment, come walk around here and pick up pods, which we need to get dealt with. Alright, so we need Elder Trail over to here. Let's go ahead and get a dispenser that we need to put on there. Set that target. And that should be this one, because that is the island. And so now we should start getting number 2s made over here. Now I still need to deal with getting the recycler taken care of for this side. I'm not sure why you're having issues with iron. We've got tons of it. Oh, you're having issues with fabric. That's right, you're a drone. It's taken care of. But anyways, I need to get the drones taken care of in their recycling area. I haven't decided yet exactly where I'm setting that up at. And I also need to deal with getting the energy pods that they're picking up brought back. And I think what I'm going to do is, instead of having them pick up the pods back here and walk them over and put them on the stockpile, I think I'm going to have them come in, pick them up, fly them back, drop them off, check if they're old over here. But I will do that next time. We seriously need to get to the inventor thing up here so we can start using some of these ants for something other than pod workers. And I probably should stop making pod workers at some point. But I kind of like them. They're really getting my production up. We're almost ready to hit 200. But we want to look at today making those casings. Now, we don't have a whole lot of resin, but we want to look at what these casings are needed for, and we want to look at the facility making diodes and the deconstructor. So I guess the first thing we need to do, and we're going to do that right here, I guess, is we want to put this down, and we want to change this to make casing, and that takes 4 resin for each one. Alright, so next let's put down the facility, which we have everything for but the fabric. So we're going to have to let these guys get some fabric made. And then we can look at the diodes. Alright, since we needed fabric, I went ahead and set up the landing pad over here so those guys can fly in, land here, get recycled, and set up a slinger for the iron and a slinger for the fabric. And I just have our guys here, when they come in to start doing this, go over and clean up after them. Figured that was a decent way of doing it. So, facility is now done. So let's see, it can make resin from fabric and concrete. Okay, well that's good, because there's not a whole lot of resin to be got over there. And then we can make diodes with screws and wires. Alright, so now we need to figure out what we actually need the diodes for. So let's make a deconstructor here. And it needs plates, concrete, it needs light bulbs, which we certainly should have light bulbs. No, we need a bigger area for making light bulbs, because all of our light bulbs are going for these guys currently. So, like I said, we may have to turn these guys off for a little while and stop making them quite so often. We're really close to hitting 200 though. But it is really nice that we can make resin in this, because when we need resin, we're definitely going to have a problem getting it at the moment. Alright, so our deconstructor is now ready. Waiting for material to deconstruct. So I'm assuming we can just throw accepts good and deconstructs them into their raw components. Yeah, so I'm assuming that if for some reason we made way too many light bulbs, we could turn them into, we could deconstruct them in this. Or if we had way too many plates, we could recycle them back to the scrap iron. I'm not sure we're going to end up using this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. If we set up our proper gates, unless there's another island, you know, there is an awful big area over here. There could be another island or two coming, where we actually get parts that need to be deconstructed. That would be interesting. But as of now, we really don't need it. So that gives us all the things in here. We don't know what we need the casings for. We don't know what we need the diodes for. So let's unlock the factory, which is going to give us LEDs. And we need 150 amps for that, which we've already done. And then we also have energy storage, which will give us beacons and energy usage. And we're going this way, so we're going to make an energy storage. factory. Where in the world is energy storage? Wait a minute, have I not unlocked it? Yeah, it's unlocked. Oh, wait a minute, it's probably in storage. Alright, so there's our energy storage. Which, if we have any excess of these, we can put that into this and store it as, well, energy. So now we just need to figure out, is it really gonna just, oh, what the world? That is not what I meant to do. Put that back. I was looking at this. Alright, so we need to move, we're gonna move this up here. And this will allow these guys to put some energy into it if they happen to come around this direction. Now, what is your problem? Your target is right there. It must have got messed up when I moved it. And I may have to get more guys in here. I moved it down a bit because it looked like there was a bunch of guys in here and they weren't actually able to do anything. So I may end up needing to raise it back up a little bit because I can see there's a lot of stuff here that needs to be dealt with. But we now have one energy stored. That's a problem. He's carrying something. What is it you were carrying? Scrap iron. And that would be because of this. We're not full, so why? Ah, I see the problem. That is not going to both of them. It was only going to one of them. Alright, so that'll take care of that issue. And now we just got the issue of you guys are really building up over here. So I need to get a whole nother set of these put in. So give me a second and we'll get back to our energy stuff. Alright, so I got this going. We now have 3 more of them. Well, 2.5. One is still being made. I gotta fix the lines here a bit. And I went ahead and did what I had discussed about having these guys fly the pods in, get checked, and then fly back out so they can get properly recycled over here. Which we're going to set this dispenser to be these. All the rest of them are just regular energy pods right now because I went through what we had already stockpiled rather quickly. And I now see with that way of making resin that this is not going to be anywhere near big enough area for making fabric. So I'm going to have to rethink where I put this. I will probably end up putting it somewhere out over here. And I have managed to get those little guys to clean up all of this over here. I think I'm going to stop sending, or start sending some of my digger guys that are going over there to work on the big stuff to start working on some of these over here, so we have more room we can do there. And while we're doing that, we have saved up 24 energy. So we can now unlock a small beacon, a small lamp to light up the surroundings. Ants within range will move much faster. It requires energy from an energy storage on the same island. Alright, so that's interesting. And then energy usage. We need to set up a beacon to unlock that one. So let's look at, there is our beacon, and it's going to speed them up. So let's put it here. And oh my goodness, does it speed them up. It doesn't have that big of a range, so we're going to want to put in a few of them. We don't want to go too crazy with this because we don't want to use up all of our energy pods that we're using for our guys, but we'll see how that does if we keep up with it. We still have a couple areas of flowers. We have this one. We have those few I'm not real worried about. We've got another area here. And isn't there? Yeah, there's another one here. Small one there. So we've got a few more areas on this island where we can get them. And if we start getting... Hold on. I just seen that that was full, which worries me that there are... Yep, they're just carrying it over, which is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to have to get another large stockpile over here for glass real quick, which we'll just put right here. And we'll mark that as glass shards. It is quite nice having way too much glass after not having enough of it. Alright, so we've got the beacons. We've used our energy. So what does this actually... Beacons or buildings boost the speed of an ant by using a beacon. Okay, I've done that. There we go. Alright, so now that gives us that one complete, which gives us an energy collider, a machine that collides energy pods to fuse them together and able to create stronger energy pods. But that needs the inventor stuff. So we need to get this one, which means we need to do this one for 150, and there's for the 200 as soon as we hit that. So, Thumper. A huge building that produces shock waves in the ground to communicate with other ant colonies. This building allows you to start a nuptial flight at will, eliminating the need to wait a full cycle. Can only be built on a desert island. Alright, and we don't have enough research to unlock that. Though right now our nuptial flight isn't doing anything, so I'm not going to bother with that. So we just need to focus on getting 200 so we can hit the tier 2 ant, and then we can start picking up all of these other nodes that need that inventor thing. But I think this has been a rather productive episode. we have checked out quite a few things. I've learned a bit about not having nearly enough fabric production. I'm also not bringing over any plant fiber, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But I will go ahead and end it off here. I hope you guys are enjoyed, and I'll be back in the next one with hopefully making tier 2 inventors. And I will reset up the inventor area here because we've actually managed to run out of points. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.